as a believer in God and as someone that loves God, and I felt like, the best way to serve God is to actually serve God's people. When I was working with women foreigners, we're talking maybe 600 to 700 women from 57 different countries. So you can imagine all the different languages flying around. And these are women that have come to Brazil either because they're being charged with international drug trafficking, so that's why they're in Brazil. So they're people that are trying to leave Brazil with drugs. And usually these women were kind of manipulated into carrying the drugs. And depending on whose side of the line you're looking at, you could be seen as drug traffickers or victims of trafficking or even drug mules. I think Jesus wouldn't really care why you were in prison. He would just want to accompany you while you were in prison. So I always try to keep that mentality. I'm not there to judge the women. I'm just there to, really learn about their lives and try to accompany them. I had a lot of grandiose plans to make this really awesome, organic, self-sustaining garden. But actually what it came down to was forming relationships with people who otherwise don't have visitors, don't even have relationships with each other. So creating an environment where people feel welcome and feel like they, can give something back, literally, to the earth with the work they're doing. Even the women that weren't necessarily participating in the garden, when I was there, they yelled down like, "Hey, lady, are you the garden lady? We are so blessed to have this garden," They loved just being able to look out their window and see something beautiful, not just a bunch of dirt and trash. I think in moments that are really difficult in the work I did, my faith is really grounding. So trusting that, even though some parts of my job were not easy at all and things that I really would have rather given to someone else to do, just trusting that, God is using me right now and, someone has to do this. There's no limits to what we can do, and we think we don't have power, but with God, I think anything's possible, and so, you just kind of have to trust that things are going to work out and that God's going to make a way for you, and I think that's one way I really grew was I realized there's no limits to what I can do.